Hey everyone, welcome back. Roby 1, the conspiracy book. It's something I wanted to jump back into. This is actually a second video on this, but we're going to dive into this, and it couldn't be a more fitting time. I was hoping the gold of the age and dawn was in this book, but it isn't. It could be in my encyclopedia. That's besides the point. But this book is a dive into history of supposedly all the secret societies. By this man's point of view, John Michael Greer. Secret handshakes in there. The keys like you see at the Vatican. Moon god symbology, the six-pointed star. The G, the Masonic symbol. The Ouroboros right in there. Alright, so this guy's a few other books I noticed too. They're pretty good. Nice book. I got this one right at Barnes & Noble's in like the paranormal section. Look at this. The 47-degree compass and 90-degree square with the tools in there. Right there, Leviathan leaves. Pillars and whatnot. I don't know what year this was made. 2018. Right before COVID. This is the real history of secret societies in the Western world, a fascinating tapestry of forgotten struggles and lost causes of hidden groups of men and women who pursued agendas that would one day triumph, and of others laboring just as hard for agendas that would end only in oblivion. John Michael Greer from the introduction. Right here, these are all the different ones. As I believe I'll just read this whole book, not today, but in segments with the public. Conspiracy is as old as the human race. 1,000,000 years ago, when our distant ancestors were adapting the vast climate changes that forced them down out of the trees, ambitious young pre-humans doubtless made plans to grow out hunting and a dominant elder to put a spear through its back. The plot hatched in secret, the arrangements made out of sight of watchful eyes, the sudden act that no one but the plotters expect. These are in our bones, in our blood, part of what it means to be human. The organized secret society, though, is a far more recent thing. The Roman senators who plotted the assassination of Julius Caesar in 43 BCE, for example, didn't found a society that met a secret for years afterward. They planned Caesar's death, carried out the plan, and then tried and failed to seize power openly. A long series of events beginning in the Middle Ages was needed to lay the the foundations for the rise of secret societies as significant historical reality. Then, when conditions were right, it took an improbable collision between two very different things: a men's social club with an exotic origin and an exiled royal house scrambling for a far way back into power to kickstart the golden age of secret societies. The men's social club was Freemasonry, the ancient and honorable society of free and accepted Masons, to give in its full title. Freemasonry started off in the Middle Ages as a craft guild in the building trades, not much different from the guilds of butchers, bakers, candlestick makers, and other trades that managed economic life in medieval Europe. Guilds had initiation rituals, regular meetings, and oaths of membership that bound initiates not to reveal certain trade secrets to outsiders, all features that would be useful in the secret societies of the future. Economic changes at the end of the Middle Ages swept most guilds into oblivion. The Stonemasons Guild survived in Britain by turning itself into a social club, inviting men who are not stonemasons to join the accepted Masons. We would call them honorary members today. By 1700, most members in the most stonemason lodges in Britain were accepted masons rather than builders, and the lodges had begun to attract wealthy and influential members who found Freemasonry a useful source of social connections. That was when the other ingredient of the rise of the secret societies entered the mix. The House of Stuart, the former royal house of Britain, thrown out of power in the Revolution in 1688 and replaced by the House of Hanover. Supporters of the House of Stuart were called Jacobites, after Jacobus, the Latin version of the name of the deposed King James II, all all through the first half of the 18th century. They carried on a campaign of subversion and propaganda against the new Hanoverian government, and twice in 1715 and 1745 launched rebellions in the name of the Stuart cause after the defeat of the 1715 Rising. The Jacobites set out to use every available means to undermine the House of Hanover. In the process, they infiltrated Freemasonry and launched several new branches of its cover for their activities. The Jacobites failed, and Freemasonry soon returned to its enduring role of charitable and society for men. But the idea of using secret societies to throw over unpopular governments caught on over the course of the 18th century. It'll continue, but let's look at this quick. It says a lithograph for the symbols in 1872. Pillars, Leviathan leaves, checkered floor. It's tough to see what that says. Looks like the compass on the altar. Alright, so what did it say here? Secret societies sprang up all over Europe. The outbreak of the French Revolution in 1789 threw this process into overdrive, and for the next century, the golden age of secret society conspiracies from every point on the political spectrum pushed their own agendas using the classical toolkit of the secret society. In the United States, secret societies found a home early on. The Revolutionary War was launched by two secret societies, the Committees of Correspondence of the Sons of Liberty, and plenty other conspiracies and secret organizations tried to promote their cause and undercut their opponents. From that point, it was quite literally true for many years that every secret society, there's an equal opportunity, an equal and opposite secret society. The fear of the secret societies rose in parallel with secret societies themselves. Not all the fears that were splashed out over the 18th and 19th century mass media were based on realities, though. Demagogues at various points of the political spectrum discovered the use of whipping their listeners into the panic over the opposed activities of the secret societies. Outright frauds and fabrications also won their shame of public attention. One iconic result of the rise of anti-secret society agitation was a vast exaggeration of power, effectiveness, and the age of secret societies themselves. From the beginning, secret societies had begun claiming to be bigger, older, and stronger than they actually were. Since they helped them attract members, the opposite of the secret societies found similarity, that it was easier to attract members to their crusade if they were exaggerated the size, age, and power of the secret society that they were fighting. By the late 20th century, as a result of best-selling books and widely watched documentaries splashed around wild claims about secret societies and conspiracies, and succeeded mostly in obscuring and fascinating reality behind the claims. Interesting. All right, so that's okay. What has been missed in all the hullabaloo, how does that? In all of the hullabaloo and the secrecy and a tool of the weak. People turn to conspiracy when they don't have the political, economic, or cultural influence to pursue their goals by more direct means. When a secret society gathers enough power to push its agenda in public, it promptly morphs into a political party, an army, or a government. That was what happened to the committees of the correspondence and the Sons of Liberty after 1775, when the cause of the American independence had won enough support in the 13 colonies to make the revolution possible. Scores in other secret societies down through the years made the same transition once they were strong enough, but there were always many more that never managed to accomplish their goals and faded out of existence as times change. For nearly 3 centuries, therefore, secret societies provided a setting where new movement for radical change found a home and began a long struggle to make their dreams a reality. Some of the dreams of the secret societies turned out to be nightmares. Both the Nazi Party and the Communist movement, we know that right now, for example, starting out as the secret societies, succeeded in making the transition to real power and splashed the 20th century with the blood of millions. Other secret societies pursued more humane goals, seeking to liberate their homelands from foreign overlords, to push democratic reforms on oppressive regimens, or in some cases to oppose secret societies with toxic goals by turning their own methods against them. Democratic reforms, you see that? This is the real history of secret societies in the Western world, a fascinating tapestry of forgotten struggles and lost causes, of hidden groups of men and women who pursued agendas that would one day triumph, and of others laboring just as hard for agendas that would only end in oblivion. It is a history that has contributed more than most people realize to the world we live in today. The conspiracy book is a password and a secret sign that will open up the history to you. And that is the introduction to the conspiracy book, as we will return soon and begin.